Have you ever heard the saying, hard work pays off? Well, these stories take that idea to a whole new level, exploring what happens when you do the exact opposite. Let's dive into some fascinating and sometimes shocking folktales all about laziness. First, there's a grim traditional tale called The Boy Who Wouldn't Lift a Finger. Imagine, a boy so lazy his mother has to spoon-feed him every single meal. One day she needs to leave the village for supplies. To make sure he won't starve, she bakes a huge ring of bread and hangs it around his neck. Simple enough, right? He can just nibble on it whenever he's hungry. But when she returns, she finds a horrifying sight. Her son is dead. He had only eaten the part of the bread directly in front of his mouth. He was too lazy to even turn his head to eat the rest. It's a stark, brutal warning about how extreme laziness can literally lead to self-destruction. Now, let's move to a more modern and hopeful story about a boy named Jaden. Jaden is a teenager who is lazy, dishonest, and frankly, a bit arrogant. He spends his days in bed, completely ignoring his parents. But one day, something shifts. He's in a park and feels an unexpected urge to help a gardener. This small act sparks a huge change. He receives 3 symbolic rings representing honesty, discipline, and humanity. These aren't magic rings, but they remind him of his new goals. He starts shedding his bad habits, begins exercising, and even finds the courage to apologize to his family. Jaden's story shows us that no matter how stuck you feel, it's never too late to change. With a little discipline and effort, anyone can turn their life around. Next, we travel to India for a Kachari folktale about procrastination. A lazy boy finally decides to start plowing his field. But there's a problem. Everyone else has already planted their rice. The season is over. An old man, who is actually the personification of the season itself, tells him he's too late. The boy stubbornly refuses to accept this and chases after the old man, trying to bring back the lost time. Of course, he fails. He learns the hard way that you can't rewind the clock. Time waits for no one, and when an opportunity is gone, it's gone for good. It's a powerful reminder that there's a right time for everything, and putting things off can mean missing out completely. Finally, we have a British fairy tale with a much funnier twist. Lazy Jack. Jack is unbelievably lazy. When his mother finally convinces him to get a job, he messes up in the most ridiculous ways. He's told to put his day's pay in his pocket, but the coin falls through a hole. The next day, he earns a jar of milk and tries to carry it in his pocket, spilling it all. It just gets crazier from there. He squashes cheese on his head and drags a shoulder of lamb on a string through the dirt. But here's the lucky break. While he's clumsily carrying a donkey on his shoulders, a rich man's daughter who has never laughed in her life sees him and bursts into laughter. Her father is so overjoyed that he lets Jack marry her. Jack becomes rich and lives happily ever after. It's a hilarious story that suggests sometimes pure dumb luck can save the day. But the real lesson is probably to just use a little common sense. From a boy too lazy to turn his head to eat, to one who accidentally stumbles into a fortune. These stories all use the lazy boy archetype to teach us something valuable about hard work, timing, and the possibility of change. They show the dangers of inaction, but also the hope that lies in taking that first step. Thanks for watching. Which story did you find the most interesting? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from around the world.